Tension is like so, hand at your waist, bow, high center. This is your high guard, high first level blocking. It's a high guard block, and for your first level blocking, you'll just turn and go force on force if something's attacking you from above. So this is your guard block, but it's also your first level guarding position. And then your middle guard block, and again, if it's first level blocking, you just turn. And always make sure that you aren't using the blade edge. Use the flat edge to block. And then your low guard position, and the same thing, you just turn your hips and you've got first level blocking. So we have a guard block low, middle, and high. And the reason it's a guard block is you're preparing to defend yourself, but there's no attack yet. When the attack comes, you prefer second level blocking. But if you're in a hurry, if the attack is such that you can't use second level blocking efficiently, maybe your weight's on the wrong foot, or for example, a horizontal cut below your own waist is really hard to figure out how you're going to second level block that. So you would just first level block that and quickly countercut so that you can beat them to the next cut. It's not ideal. We would rather do second level blocking. All right, so guard blocks are 1, 2, and 3, and the first level blocking is just moving the hips and making sure that we block with the flat edge of the sword. So those are the basics of your guard blocks and your first level blocking. Now for the meditation. Things you want to remember are press your palms together, keep your shoulder blades back, keep your elbows tucked in, keep your chin up, keep a little bend in the knees, and straighten your lower back by tucking your hips under. Be balanced on all 4 corners of your feet so you're not leaning. Breathing is in through the nose and out through the mouth. Touch the roof of your mouth as you inhale through your nose, and then drop your tongue to exhale through your mouth. We do 3 to 7 breath cycles per position. Anytime you're going down, you're exhaling. And we don't rest our hands or our arms or our weapon on our body, so make sure you have a little bit of space between you and your body. 3 to 7 breath cycles here, and then an exhale to come down. Same thing. We don't want to rest on ourselves, none of this, right? So keep your arms off of yourself. 3 to 7 here. On an inhale, we come back up. And remember your alignment. You're keeping your hands at your 1 point, and you're keeping the tip of your sword at eye level in the middle guard. And on an inhale, we go up to the high. And in the high guard, you're looking just under your base hand. So for right-handed people, you're looking just under your left hand. And the angle is such that the center of gravity of the blade is over the crown of your head. So you have it, say I start with it flat, and I raise it up, and then I drop it down until my hand is just above my eye line, my eye level, and that's how you determine the angle of the sword. So not too vertical, not too flat, and certainly not behind your back. Take the center of gravity over the crown of your head, and then put the angle such that your hand is just over your eye level. That's how you figure that stuff out. All right, at the end of your meditation, it's an exhale to attention. Continue the exhale to the bow, and inhale, standing erect again. That way, everything is supported by your breath. It's all meditation. All right, so we start by going high center. For our undo, we turn, and it's a downward cut for Saya Undo if you're turning to your non-dominant hand. So for right-handed people, the left side is a downward cut. Then we come across. Here's your halfway point. Keep turning, and your horizontal cut on your dominant side. For right-handed people, the right side. So we inhale for the first half, draw a line with the sword edge. When you get to the halfway point, start exhaling. Come around and downward cut. All right, that's Saya Undo, so I'm going to move on. We're going to go uppercut to high center. Remember, your hands stay on your center line. As you turn the sword a little faster than your body, everything matches up to be straight ahead, parallel. Then a downward cut. Try to support everything with your breath. Now we're on to the Udafuri to the right. This is with the flat edge of the blade, so it's a blocking maneuver to lift the other person's sword. So we lift with the flat edge of the blade. Remember, keep your hands on your center line, but your halfway point is not until here now. Keep turning, and wait till you're square with your last movement, and then down with your exhale. So the first half is inhale. Here, exhale. through your cut. All right, then we do a half turn. Use the sword edge of the blade, whatever, the sharp edge. And then you're here and down. Now we go to the left. Going away from your dominant hand means using the sharp edge of the blade to cut. So now we're cutting instead of blocking. Hands stay on the center line. There's your halfway point. Keep turning and downward cut. So inhale for the first half, exhale for the second. Use the sharp edge. And now another half turn with the sharp edge cutting on an uppercut. And down. We come to attention from there. We bow. There's no key finger in knife hand, obviously, because it's not empty hand. We high center again. We draw down to middle guard. We draw in the right foot. Get the tip on line with your thrust. And 1 and 2. Keep your hands on your center line. Come over and guard. Draw in. Get your point on your tip of your sword on line. Thrust. 2. High center, never letting your hands leave your center line. Down to guard, draw all the way down so you're on line. And 1, 2, up and over, left. And 1, 2, up and over, guard. Then tip on line and thrust. It won't be this broken up when you're smooth and, flowing. But these are the small pieces I want you to understand. It's a high guard, it's a middle guard, it's on line with your thrust, draw in first, and hoppo shuffle. And on the second one, you have to keep your hands on your center line. So you can't turn and let it be behind you. Keep it on your center line. High guard, middle guard, on line with your attack. 1, 2. At the end of this one, turn the blade up. So you're doing an uppercut. And then it's very subtle. And my weight's not on my right foot yet until the sword centers with my body. The two things happen simultaneously. And then come to attention again and bow. Using your sword, if it's a bokken, it's not so dangerous, but it's still wrong etiquette to be holding it like this, talking with people. It's a threat. It's like having your gun out, waving it around. So the right way, if you're not going to resheath, is to hold it like this, whether it's a bokken or steel. You could, of course, put it away. But in general, in class, we're only talking for 10 or 20 seconds and we're right back at it. So we don't sheath. Instead, from our attention when we bow, we go at ease. Now the right way to do this is your hand behind your back like the kids do, adults do. Right? This is your baro position. Baro with the sword is the right way to be standing while you're receiving instruction. And then when you're ready to go back to action, you just use your thumb to flip it, come to attention and bow. So at ease is really like this. We're usually less formal in the adult class, but really the right way is baro, like so. All right, cuts in the air. Practice both right and left foot forward. We're going to go straight down, turn, go straight up, but you'll notice my hands are on my sword cut line, meaning right here, not out here. Watch for that in yourself and in your students, whoever starts doing sword, because you can't be leaning out to do your uppercut. It needs to be centered on your center line, what we call sword cut line. So straight up, down, and also before you move on, you turn the other way, which is incredibly awkward, but it teaches us to turn, pivot our hips on the ball of the foot, keep our hands on our center line. Even though the hands are crossed at this point, you're still on your center line, and back, down, up, back, down, up, back, down, up. All right, so after you've done down and back up with both rotations of the hips, you start your diagonals. So down from top right to bottom left, turn it over and back up, and high center, and down and back up, and high center. Making sure the sharp edge is in alignment with your cut. Then top left to bottom right, looks like this. High center, cut, cut, high center. So you're going from your high to your low, and you'll see I'm still in the knot of my belt. My hands don't go off to the side of my body. Everything happens from second chakra to sixth chakra. So if you look at it that way, it's from your tanjon to your third eye, from your second chakra to your sixth. So we're going from here to here, right? And then back down, we're going from here to here. But only my hips are making the lateral movement. My hands are going straight up and down, straight up and down. Now it's also true on everything. So it's also true on your horizontal. Come across, maybe at neck level. And then the first horizontal we work on is cycling, we call it, cycling back. I say it's like trailing the tip of the sword through water so that it kind of comes back to your high center naturally. So we cycle that back. And again, I'm only going down to the level of my cut. And then when I cycle back, I'm going back to high center. I've never left my sword cut line. And the same thing the other way. Come across, let it trail through the water, come across. What you do is you come down onto your line, turn the edge of the blade the direction of the cut, do your cut, and then let it trail behind and cycle through. All right. Next, we're going to go back and forth. So I'm going to go down, then short uppercut to recenter, down, across, short uppercut. This gives us a chance to go back and forth. You do not want to just go back and forth like this willy-nilly. You want to get to your high center every time. So it's down on line, cut, up to high center, down on line, cut, up to high center, down on line, cut, up to high center. In applications, say second level blocking especially, but bag work and all sorts of things, you're going to go all the way down to wherever your cut is. Maybe it's abdomen, and cut through, and then back to high center. You also can go all the way through and just low center. Perfectly okay. But in line, we're going to practice usually a neck level cut and high center each time. It teaches the muscle memory that we need for proper movement, moving from our axis. Let's see. So how that looks is if I'm cycling, then it's down, over, and then diagonal back up. So it makes an isosceles triangle in the air. Whereas the recentering at each end, so that I can go back and forth with my cuts, it looks like a rectangle. It's down, over, up, down, over, up. It's like a box with no lid. So that might help you understand the two different horizontal cuts. When we're done with the horizontals, what we have left is the forward thrusting. So we start with the sword tip at eye level. We drop it under the chin of the opponent. Draw in to get our center to move with a hoppo shuffle. And come back. And then I just push this hand down and I'm back to my eye level guard block. Next level is under the sternum. So we drop the tip under the sternum, draw, thrust, retract, push this hand down, and I'm back to a middle guard. And now the low is like if somebody were on their hands and knees, or it's a dog or whatever. Just imagine something low down at knee level. Drop the tip, draw, thrust with your whole body with a hoppo, pull back, and again, just push that hand down all the way to a middle guard. Again, you might in reality stay in your low guard if that's where the threat is, but for the sake of doing the drill, doing this over and over for muscle memory, we bring ourselves back to a middle guard. All of those should be done with the other foot forward. Like so. All right, spear, same thing. So when you're in your spear attention stance, tip is down near your ankle. The length of your shaft and the length of your spearhead make a difference, but let's just assume yours is like mine. And so we bow like so. And then when we're at ease in class, we just keep the spear along our leg. So this would be your at ease position. You don't have to like figure out how to put it in front of you or behind you or invert it. Just keep it at your leg and you would be like so. That way it's the least possible dangerous position, like keeping your rifle muzzle pointed at the ground. All right, so we go to tension, we go bow, we go high center. All right, here we go. So I've got the center of gravity in my dominant hand. So the center of balance, that is. I put that over the crown of my head. Just like sword, the center of the weapon has to be over my head. but it changes where my hands are, because hands are on the handle of the sword, not on the blade of the sword. But hand over the center, other hand comes down, and so I can be looking under my other hand, just like I am with the sword. Depending on the shaft, you may go under the shaft, look under the shaft instead of under your hand. But I like to go under, if this is the shaft I'm using, I like to go under this hand. I can see around the handle, the shaft, that's no big deal. So here's your high guard, and again, first level blocking, just turn. You can change the angle of the weapon itself, and you can just block first level. We go to a middle guard. Middle guard is here, looking over the tip, just like you look over the tip of the sword, same thing. And you can see down here, I can block this side very easily, I just kind of move, but I have to clear my body to block the other side. So get used to clearing the body for first level blocking. And then low guard looks like this, and you see it's kind of under my arm, but it's not locked in. We're keeping it loose, and I can guard this way and this way, blocking first level for anything that comes at my legs. So low guard, middle guard looking over the tip, high guard looking under your hand or under the end of the shaft, whichever feels right for you, for your weapon. All right, so those are your 3 guard block positions with the spear. They're just like the sword, really. And then the first level blocking is really just like the sword, too. Just turn your hips in from these positions. All right, let's see. Meditation is a little different from the sword. Meditation is from your attention. We exhale, we inhale, we get into the same wide stance, shoulder width. Spear tip is straightforward, shaft is straight, 3 to 7 breaths. Your first position from here goes to an inhale up to here. And again, depending on the length of the shaft, you may have to be higher or you could be a little lower, but palms are together in front, 3 to 7 breaths here, and everything's the same, right? So 4 corners of your feet, shoulder blades back, knees slightly bent, lower back by tilting the pelvis, chin up, all the good stuff. Breathing is the same. So from here, after 3 to 7, we inhale, and this is a little bit tricky. We inhale all the way up to high center, spin it, and exhale back down to the temples. This is your next position for 3 to 7 breath cycles. After your 3 to 7 at the temples, you go up and do your 3 to 7 at a full extension. After 3 to 7 here, get your hand out of the way so you can spin the shaft. Then it comes all the way down on your exhale, all the way to here. And you want to be true with your spearhead. Try to keep it angled the right way. 3 to 7 here, down here for 3 to 7. On an exhale, remember it's exhale down, inhale on the way up. And then exhale into your attention and bow, inhale to finish. So it's just like the sword in that way. I have my student coming in, so I have to be quick. I'm going to exhale, I'm going to high center, I'm going to turn and do my downward cut, and it's on the same side. So dominant hand under the dominant armpit. Trace the line on the floor, come up under. Here's where your breathing changes. This is the halfway point, and this is pretty flat now. It's not a guard block, it's pretty straight. Come through and cut. Because we're not high guarding, we're actually clearing the body. So come on the line, here, and downward cut. Now to transition, we make a kind of a big movement. This is clearing the body. There's the uppercut to high center. My hands are still on my sword cut line. They're equidistant from the knot of my belt laterally. And then I come out and down. Now this is going to be on the left side to start your udafuri to the right. That's important to know. It's on the outside of the movement. So now we drop the tip and draw the line. Keep it on the line. Here's where your breathing changes. Keep going. And again, the left armpit, because you want to keep it on the outside of the movement. Inhale for the first half. Exhale from here all the way through your cut. Clear your body and uppercut. High center, and down. Now it's on the outside. So we move through, and down. First half is inhale. Hello. Second half, exhale. I'm making a video for the Ohio guys, but it's okay. And then a half turn, and down. Come to attention. We're ready for Hoppo Undo. Hoppo with the spear, just float it, draw, go 1, 2, let it come up and over and swim. 1, it's on the windowsill. 2, high center, new angle. 1, 2, bring it up and over and swim it. 1, 2, up to high center, new angle, down, draw. 1, 2, up and over. 1, 2, up to high center, new angle. 1, 2, up and over. And 1, 2, bring it up. Stop at high center. Bring it down. See, my other hand's doing the same thing. To attention. And up. So that's the undo. The cuts, just like the sword. Down, back up. Keep your hands equidistant from your center line. And do both sides, which means clear your body and come up. Now all of your cuts have to be done with tucking in the blunt end so you can cut with the blade. Get the blunt end out of the way so you can make a nice cut. So you make sure you're working on that. Tuck it in, make your cut, clear your body, make your cut back up. So those are the 2 different uppercuts. Now the diagonal, tuck it in, do your diagonal, clear your body, do your diagonal up. Tuck it in, down, clear and come back up. High center is clearing this way, so we clear this way overhead, we clear this way in between the 2 bodies. All right, so diagonal the other way. Tuck it in, do your cut, clear the body, do your uppercut. Back to center, tuck it in, cut, clear your body, uppercut. All right, horizontals. You can swim these 2. Just swim it right back. Tuck it in and cut. Swim it right back. Tuck it in and cut. Now on the other side, tuck it in, cut, swim it right back. You'll see it's just like the sword. All right, and then our little box shape. Come down on line, cut across, come back up to high center, come down, cut across, up to high center, down, cut across, up to high center. You see how I'm clearing my body based on which direction I'm going to cut. So I'm cutting to my right, the shaft is on the right. And then when I'm cutting to the left, the shaft is on the left. All right, and then thrusts under the chin, draw, thrust, back, guard, under the breastbone, down, draw, thrust, back, guard, and low, down, draw, thrust, back, guard. Switching feet, you'll be able to go down and up, diagonal down, clear, up, diagonal down, clear, up, horizontal and swim it back, horizontal the other way and swim it back, and then down, make the box, up, down, make the box, up, and then your thrusts, it's going to feel very strange on this side, but it can be done this way. So under the chin, guard, under the sternum, guard, and down low, and guard. All right. A little bag work. Starting whichever guard you like. There's low, there's middle, and there's high. Try to be in the habit of making your dominant side foot your action foot. So if you're going to cut with a right hand dominant cut, the right foot should be doing the undo. Forward with your right foot makes it an udafuri cut. Back, as you know, for a sayo, makes it a sayo cut. So try to be in that habit. That doesn't mean that you won't be moving your left foot into an undo. For example, there's a nice udafuri toward my right with my left foot coming forward. But in general, because this is a one-sided weapon, it's a dominant hand weapon, you don't necessarily want to be doing this, a sayo with the back leg, the left leg in this case, or an udafuri with the left leg. It's okay because we have to think about our ma'ai. Sometimes we have to step forward or back to make the ma'ai proper. But the more powerful cuts will be with the dominant foot moving. Sayo, udafuri, sayo, udafuri, sayo. So take some time on the bag to practice that with this better, so that you can feel the hip movement doing your cuts. Horizontal sayo undo, upward diagonal udafuri. So think about your foot and your hand doing the same thing. It's the same thing here. I really want to udafuri with my right foot. Sayo with my right foot. Uvuri right foot, Sayo right foot. So whatever you're doing with your, now I'm going to go hop up. But whatever you're doing with your spear, it's a one-handed weapon too. The center of the spear is in your dominant hand. So think about the yunda you're doing with the same side foot. Something you can be working on to make those nice, powerful cuts. It's okay, like I said, to step through with your non-dominant foot, especially like right now, I'm a little close. I'm going to sayo with my left foot to make a nice, clean cut. But those are just inherently a little less powerful than using your dominant side.